Hello and welcome to another edition of the Father and Son Pastime Podcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Kevin.
That's my dad.
How are you?
Thank you for joining us for our 25th edition of our pastime, I suppose, deep dive into it's deep dive on each MLB franchise's dream team of their all-time players of history. So it's really been fun, and there's been a lot of research, but we're almost done this very long endeavor. Today's team is the Arizona Diamondbacks, which we were just talking about, is really building a team around Randy Johnson. Obviously, that is the first thing you think of when you hear the Diamondbacks. I mean, if you hear something different, good for you, but for non-Diamondbacks fans, we're over here in Maryland, we think of Randy Johnson.
Yeah, their championship team was really two starting pitchers, and then everything else fell into place.
I think him and Schilling shared the World Series MVP that year.
I think so, and they were dominant.
Yeah. Absolutely great pitching history with Greinke, obviously, in a different year than 2001, but recently they've had some really great starting pitching. And there's going to be some things where, a lot of these players wouldn't be on anyone else's dream team. I mean, the Diamondbacks are a very new team. I mean, just a little over 20 years old.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But there'll be some really great stars in there as well, so we always have fun debating that. A few things to note before we get started. Have had to been on the team for at least 3 years and must play the position that you are sort of a customer known for playing. You can't put Paul Goldschmidt at third base.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Not a great offensive team in looking over everything. So if you really
bits and pieces,
yeah, pitching and defense were the keys. So yeah.
Well, let's get into it. Would you like to talk about the catcher? Because I have a feeling you'll choose a former Cub.
I do. It's Miggy.
Yep.
Miggy Montero.
Miggy, can't you see?
There's no alcohol in that little drink, by the way. Just Miggy.
Not yet.
But yeah, Miggy's great years were with the Diamondbacks. Had okay years with the Cubs, and I think 1 year with the Nationals, and then I think he's out of baseball right now.
Yeah.
But when he was there, he was the captain of the team and really good. Caught the great pitchers. Think about how sore his hand was when he caught Schilling and Johnson of those years. But defensively, he was very good and a good left-handed bat.
Yeah, I think Montero only played like 4 games for the Nationals.
Correct.
I don't think it was a full season. Yeah, it was a cut.
Yep.
But he was a 2-time All-Star with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and again, not a lot of depth to this catching staff.
I agree.
Miguel is my starter as well. For first base, very simply, although it's hard to see him in a Cardinal uniform with Paul Goldschmidt. You have 6-time All-Star, but in my opinion, consistently snubbed, even as a Cardinal, as MVP. Almost every year he was either 2 or 3 in the MVP voting, and he's one of the first basemen in the game right now. And it's really sad to see him lose out to people like Cody Bellinger or something like that consistently over the course of his career, and I just feel that he's destined, especially with this year being truncated, so like a Hall of Very Good. I think he's great, but just until he really hit St. Louis was in a bad market for Hall of Fame players.
Home runs and average.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about somebody who, the players.
Defense too.
Yeah, I think the players respected him greatly, but even like Anthony Rizzo used to get more votes at first base than he did, and I think being in Arizona doesn't help any of these players. You really don't get the publicity you need, but a great player, and hopefully he'll come into his own. But 40 home runs, hit 340, really good defense. He was a star.
Yeah. Now, I love the comparison here, and I hear it all the time. There's a few years of difference in age, obviously, but who would you rather have as your first baseman? Because they kind of played in the same league, kind of majority of their career. Joey Votto or Paul Goldschmidt? I know Votto's a little older.
In what stadium?
Pick. It doesn't matter.
I think
Montreal.
I go Votto.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I think.
And you know why?
Better average. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Better average. Better hitter. I think Votto has a better chance of being in the Hall of Fame than Goldschmidt does.
I agree. And Votto consistently has just been great. I respect that he stayed in Cincinnati when he could have left.
Yeah.
So that's where my respect comes from. Yeah. So yeah, I like Votto a lot.
All right.
Cup killer.
Yeah, he always is. Well, we're 2 for 2 so far. Speaking of twos, we're going to second base. I have Jay Bell as my second baseman. He had 1 year where he had 38 home runs. He's not consistently a home run hitter. Not the highest average, not a Gold Glover, but again, not a lot of depth here at second base.
I thought he was a shortstop, and I have him as a shortstop, and I have Orlando Hudson at second base.
I think Jay Bell was primarily second baseman. Feel free to check me. What is he known for in your eyes, Arizona? But I have someone else at shortstop, which I'm not really happy to pick at shortstop, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But Hudson's a great choice too.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Stolen bases, table setter. Good career with Arizona. Well respected in the league, and a great either a leadoff or a two hitter. So yeah, he got my vote.
Yeah. So okay, so that we know your shortstop with Jay Bell. My pick for shortstop is Stephen Drew.
Yeah.
Just full transparency, I'm a Red Sox fan. I very much despise Stephen Drew. I don't think I just hate the fact that he just had very bad years with Boston. I'll try to be objective about it.
That is true.
He had good enough years with Arizona to get the starting shortstop role. In my opinion, Ketel Marte, will be their. We do this 2-3 years from now. Will be their star. He has enough years with the Diamondbacks to earn that shortstop role for our purposes here. But really, only last year was his breakout phenomenal year.
Yeah.
And I want to see if he hits a sophomore slump or if he's truly their star. Because right now, I think he's a star of that team.
Yeah, I had Stephen Drew as like a 1B. His years with Diamondbacks were good. He had a nice pull hitter and everything else. Mm-hmm. But again, he had some clutch hits with the Red Sox, but not that many. But yeah, and then he went to the Yankees, I think.
Boston called him Nancy for Nancy Drew.
Just leave it to Boston.
Yeah, leave it to Boston to ridicule you.
Yeah, that's right. Don't get on their bad side.
No. For third base, I don't think there's a star for being a star third baseman in Arizona. I chose Matt Williams. Again, more twilight years. He still had one All-Star year with the Diamondbacks. Mm-hmm. He definitely gave the better career years to San Francisco. But I do think he is the best option at third base. What's your pick?
I had Mark Reynolds. And Mark had great hitter. Great hitter with the Orioles, and went there and played third base. Not the best defensive third baseman in the league, but just a consistent hitter. He could really hit a fastball, and he did pretty well with Arizona. And again, looking down the list of people that played third base, he kind of came to the head of the list and the ones I checked. So I put him in there just because offense.
Reynolds led the league for 4 straight years in strikeouts.
He used to take a full swing.
He might hit the ball far. He hit bombs. I give him that.
Yeah.
And he did hit a lot of home runs, but it was home run or bust.
Yeah.
3 of those years were with Arizona. One of those years was with Baltimore. I couldn't put someone who struck out. I think he struck out 250 times one year. Which, wow. If you're an all-star pitcher, you're not striking out 250 people.
Yeah.
Unless you're Verlander, Cole, or Scherzer, you're not hitting 250.
You're only getting 500 at bats.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah. So I can't justify. Plus, he had really low averages.
Yeah.
So again, it was a home run or not. If he was batting like 240, he had like 212 one year. So, I'd rather go with a aging Matt Williams.
But you know what's so funny? You looked at the list of popular Diamondbacks.
Yeah, he's beloved in Arizona because he hit long balls.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. You go with popular a lot. I go with what makes sense. Sound off in the comments below. Who would you rather pick between Williams and Reynolds? But okay, Mr. Nodding, you think you made the right choice. All right, go for the guy with a clearly better average. Whatever. And a former Gold Glover, Matt Williams, but whatever.
Yeah, and Reynolds was not anything close to...
Oh, that ball went by me. Oh!
That's right. Let's strike out next time. I'll make out for
it. Left field, who do you have?
Luiz Gonzalez.
Very easy choice. Here.
Yeah.
Very easy choice.
Well, the hero of the World Series.
Yeah.
Little bloop single.
Another Hall of Very Good type of person.
Yeah, he had a good career with the Cubs as well. I think he was underrated. What really hurt Luis was home runs. He wasn't a really potent home run hitter.
Yeah.
Great average defensively. He was very good. We saw him at Wrigley Field.
I don't remember that.
You were a baby.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Yes. But you were going Luis. But anyway,
childhood memory that we are learning live for our fans.
Yes,
that's dedication.
But anyway, again, just World Series hero, a long career with Arizona. And again, very popular with the fan base and everything else. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, just to add on to that, obviously the World Series hero, 5-time All-Star. Center field, I have Steve Finley.
Yep.
I like Steve Finley a lot. No real accolades to talk about other than that he was consistent and reliable in defensive, offensive, but just never a award winner for Arizona.
I agree wholeheartedly. I had Steve as well. Again, Baltimore let him go, but he had a great career in the major leagues. And again, I think Arizona was his, one of the teams that he shined for. But yeah, I agree. He was defensively very good. He was like the Freddie Lynn of his era.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. Steve Finley is not a Hall of Fame candidate.
No.
Yeah. But I get the comparison there.
Yeah.
In right field, I have Justin Upton. I think this is an easy pick. I was obviously researching the Diamondbacks online, and some people have David Peralta as your starting right fielder. I think that's just dumb. I'm more mad about the Matt Reynolds choice than I am about choosing Peralta. I seriously. Did I say Matt Reynolds? Sorry, Mark Reynolds. That's how angry I am.
But see, I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up because I brought up Mark. And the twin brother wasn't any good either.
Well, speaking of twin brothers, BJ Upton, or Melvin, whatever you wanted to go by. But we're focusing on Justin Upton, and just a phenomenal player. Another person I don't think ever really got his due. It seems to be the theme here in Arizona.
Yeah.
That these stars don't get the attention they get, and Justin didn't really become stardom until he went to Atlanta, in my opinion.
Right, and it came up as a 19-year-old.
Yeah. But much better than his brother.
Yeah. Ran out of Southern Virginia, and great athletes, by the way.
Yeah, they're Tidewater.
Yeah, and high draft choices and all that stuff. But again, I don't think they got their the claim to fame that they had. But they were phenomenal athletes, both of them.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Going to pitching, obviously we started the podcast talking about Unit, Randy Johnson. He was a Diamondback when the bird exploded, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, I definitely remember being a child and seeing that. I was like, what happened to the bird, Mommy? She's like, look away! Randy Johnson won 24 games one year and 4 straight...
His mother doesn't talk like that, by the way.
He had 4 straight... we're doing our best. 4 straight Cy Youngs, all with the Diamondbacks. 4 straight years, obviously all those Cy Young years, with 300 strikeouts or more. He was striking out Reynolds, his teammate. I'm kidding. I'm last jab at Reynolds, I promise.
But yeah, I agree. Kurt Schilling was up there as well. What a Kurt Schilling and Steve Finley were in the same trade. The Orioles got rid of, by the way, just to throw that in there. But again, I thought both had great careers. Kurt is still waiting to get in the Hall of Fame.
And a lot of that is just some of the comments he's been saying post playing. But yeah, Kurt Schilling, another great Red Sox.
Yeah.
Not comparing him to Stephen Drew. Sorry. Another Red Sox that happens to be great. Not related to Stephen Drew. I got a lot of opinions in this podcast.
Apparently, there's something in that little smoothie that is getting him ready to go.
We're having a lot of fun with this one, though.
Yes, we are.
If you're still watching,
That's
I don't know, give us a comment and we'll follow you back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. Randy was a phenomenal pitcher. Yeah. So, yeah.
Going, you want to talk about the bullpen? Again, immediately we hope that Randy throws a lot of complete games and shutouts. 8th, 9th, setup man and closer. Thoughts?
Well, I have, again, like we talked before the broadcast, there's not a whole lot to choose from. And I had...
It's thin.
Yeah. I had Byung-Hyun Kim and Brad Ziegler as my 2 relief pitchers. And, both were kind of submariners. And Brad had his best career with the Diamondbacks. But there wasn't a great deal of setup people that I could think that were better than, what I have. Who'd you have?
So Ziegler's your closer setup man?
Closer.
So I have him as my setup. And again, I agree with that. I like the delivery method that Brad uses. Mm-hmm. And then I have J.J. Putz as my closer, who I believe is their all-time saves leader. Check me on that.
Okay.
But he, low ERA, consistent saves. I never have heard really of a season leader for saves for Arizona. But obviously, JJ was getting enough saves there. He's more known for being a Mariner, in my opinion.
And he's a starting pitcher.
A lot of pitchers, obviously, start and then work their way back to the back end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm with you because he came out of the University of Michigan, was one of the great starting pitchers out of that draft, and then just could not make it as a starting pitcher. Ended up with another team and became the closer. So
he's got a bunch of saves.
Yeah. Threw hard.
Mm-hmm. I think we can both agree that Bob Brenly would be our manager with the World Series ring under his belt.
Funny
on his finger.
Bob Brenly, he never really got another chance after he got away from. He went into broadcasting, and he never got another managerial job.
Maybe that's what he wanted. I don't know. I don't know enough about Bob Brenly, but
But I thought that was interesting that he had really good years and managed well, and then when he got out, turned to broadcasting, either he didn't want to do it anymore, or he never got another offer. Interesting. Yeah.
We end every podcast talking about logos, and there's really not that many logos in Arizona's history. Hint, they all have an A in them. Although I personally like the one with the rattlesnake and the D that I see a lot on your hats.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently that's not an official logo, or at least a primary logo. I guess maybe it's a secondary. But I would go with the original colors. I certainly like that year of the championship in here too. I don't know. I just think that's, we don't really curse on the show, but that's badass.
That is my vote as well. I just like the design. It has a lot more character than the others, and I like the color scheme better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for bearing with us. We definitely had a lot of fun with that podcast. First time, this is our 25th podcast. We got 5 more to go between we're done. First time I've made fun of my mother on the show. So there's still a first. So keep watching as we finish out and round out our all-time dream teams with our 30 MLB franchises.
Be safe out there.
Thanks for watching.